Hey everyone, this is P4L, and I'm coming back with a new review from Iron Factory. This is their Spirits of the DEC. This is their fourth release, IFEX Alkaid, or their version of a Legends Helix, or I think that's how you pronounce it, from the DJD. So he's the fourth member that we've gotten released so far in this kind of interesting DJD, but also combiner DJD set. And he's really big for a Legends class. I mean, he's definitely not the Legends size. So let's go ahead and get started with packaging review. This is actually the second time I'm shooting this. The first time my app just ate up my file. So let's kind of speed through this. So packaging review, nice images, nice window, pretty standard for Iron Factory, especially with the large releases. You can see image on the side, top, some warning labels on the bottom. And on the back is where we get some of the stock images. So we got him in robot mode, got him in alt mode down here. They don't show him in any of his kind of combined mode or where it fits, but we'll go ahead and show that off. Out of packaging, he actually comes with a set of instructions, which are pretty good, bar from one or two steps that are not that clear. And then he also comes with 2 extra sets of fists. So he gets a set of open hands and a set of closed fists, along with the open set of hands that he can install with. And yes, it's not his main hands. I'm talking about these tiny hands here that you can replace, just like any other Legends class from Iron Factory. I think most of them had interchangeable hands, or at least a lot of them did. So here he is in robot mode. Take a quick 360 look at him, and he looks really nice. He's really big and bulky. He has that look to him. Love the paint details, the pink. The only complaint that I probably have is this huge backpack, which is primarily combiner parts. And really quickly, this backpack comes off, and you can these two parts are identical. You can actually remove one and tap it back in. If you want to keep yours in robot mode, I would actually recommend you do that. Sorry, I can't see where the pegs are. Recommend you do that because that also gives you some more freedom with the waist and leg articulation, and it just looks a little bit cleaner. But sorry for the quick aside, but just want to let you know that that is available to you. His head sculpt looks really nice. Nice small details, but he has like the bloody tears or energon tears that come down his cheeks. He's very mean looking. Very clean paintwork. He does have a ball jointed head as far as articulation goes. His shoulders are on a swivel here. And then they can also come out a little bit at this shoulder joint there, but it's really limited. What you can do though is kind of sneak in here, and this is actually a panel. You can open that up and make use of this if you want. Now it definitely breaks up the look, but that's available to you. And as long as you don't go all the way to the side, it doesn't look that terrible. He does have a bicep swivel and a single joint at the elbow, but it's actually fairly deep for such a chunky bot, more than 90 degrees. His wrists do swivel around, and he doesn't have traditional, 5-finger hands. He has 2-finger, almost, they look more like talons, but they're well articulated. I believe that is accurate. So he has ball joints at the base of the thumb and 2 fingers, as well as 1 extra hinge here on each of the 2 fingers, and 2 actually at the thumb. Going on to his other hands, he has a ball joint at what would be, I guess, the shoulder here, and then a pin joint there in combination with a ball joint. So that actually allows you to fold all the way back on itself, not twisting that off. Anyway, I'll just show you like this. You can fold it all the way up on itself, which is great range for his secondary hands. As I said, his hands here can pull off, and you can replace them with the closed fists if you'd like, or the open ones. I definitely like the splayed jazz hands the most. I think they can be more useful. And since he's not using any weaponry or anything like that, the open fists don't really make a lot of sense for me. All right, where else are we going? The waist, like I said, it can go 360 if it weren't obstructed by this lower piece. His legs can come up just about that far, and if they weren't for the backpack, he could go all the way back. You can spread it out laterally to get more movement, but you get the idea. He has about a 90-degree knee bend. And coming down to the feet, he has kind of a swivel over here on his toe piece that's connected to a ball joint actually in the toe piece itself. So you can get a lot of articulation out of the toe. And then even at the toe tip, it can bend down. It's really for transformation, but you can use it. I don't know how useful that is. I guess he does have heel articulation. The heel does tab in for this mode, but you could untab it and make use of it if you find that at all useful. The only other thing he has as far as articulation goes are his little guns on the back. You can flip them around or flip them up. It's really up to you on that point. So yeah, really nice looking figure. As with most Iron Factory releases, the quality is really nice. Nice, solid, chunky plastic, tight joints, and maybe overly tight in some areas. But those tend to loosen up. Here he is with the rest of his crew to date. They scale quite well together. You can just see again just how big he is in comparison. One last quick comparison that I got authorization to show off is this version of Helix from Mastermind Creations, and you can see just how big he is in comparison. It's about twice the size. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do a full preview of this guy, just because he's such an early sample. Even though he transforms and feels for the most part fine, he's not colored, and they just don't want to give off the wrong impression of this guy. So, no transformation. They do look quite nice together. This is more of a purple look, and again, the colors aren't finalized on this, but you can see just how cool they are together. I joked on my Facebook page, these little hands can act as a built-in baby carrier or baby Bjorn for Helix. But yeah, that's it for robot mode. That's all we're going to talk about there. Let's get him into transformation. Let's get into transformation. His transformation is really basic. It's honestly just him almost like laying down his arms forward. So let's curl up his fists just to make that a bit easier. A little bit later. I'm going to start with his feet because his feet, they tell you to do the feet second, but once you transform the upper body, it gets a little bit harder to do like the thigh rotation. So to go ahead and rotate at the thigh, and then down here, this is what they don't show you very well. This whole leg, like the calf and even parts, even the foot, the whole lower leg is actually a separate piece. So we're going to flip this down. I'm going to pull this out. You can see how it hinges out. It's actually a double hinge. So there's this hinge at the top of the white part, and then if you can see down there, there's another one with a white and silver hinge that connect. So you want to bring that white hinge all the way up, and then rotate at the silver piece. The toe you'll just bring down here and curl it up like that, and that's it. That's it for the lower leg transformation. Nothing crazy going on. So let's go ahead and do that again. Bring this out. Come on. There we go. Bring this out. Bring this whole leg assembly back up as far as you can go. And then down. Oh, and yeah, rotate at the thigh. And that's it for his rear transformation, leg transformation. All right, so for his upper body, a little bit more going on here. Let's start with his fists. So his fists actually are attached to the panel. You want to, oh, actually you don't want to do that. Sorry, I keep doing that, but this is where the other fist is. You actually don't have to do anything for alt mode transformation. That was for combined mode. Sorry. The only thing with the fist you have to do is rotate them so that the palm is facing down. You're going to untab here. You're going to rotate and rotate. Pull it down like that. And then these are going to come up. And these will tab in here. Let's not do that right now. Let's move that out of the way just so we can deal with this inner part. The fist, you can just scooch down, the arms that is. You can just rotate down and go flat. So they're just going to hang out on the underside of this massive, whatever he is, tank, ATV. This part here, you're going to want to pull forward on this chest panel. You won't want to pull up on these little spiky pieces because they do kind of hook around these tabs. So just bring that down. Okay. Now you can rotate these hooky pieces spiky pieces 180 degrees. And then these panels, or these treads, are on double hinged pieces. You just want to pull that out. And you want to make sure that they're straightened. So this hinge in here should be completely straight 90 degrees. Do that on this side. Tuck the head in. And then bring this panel back in. Alright. There are tabs here that have corresponding pieces on the black pieces underneath these spikes. They don't really tab in though. It's kind of like a loose connection. So as long as they're kind of in place, they'll stay fine. Okay, finally, bring the arms forward and tab them into the front here. And that's it. There we have Alkaid, or Helix, in his alt mode. And as you can see, it's basically him with his fist facing forward and his legs at the back. Even down here, you can see most of his robot mode still intact. So not the most impressive, but again, it's a legend scale and it's a triple changer since he does go into combine mode. Bringing back out the guest star here, Mastermind Creations Helix. You can see just how big this one is in comparison and how much cleaner it is. They do use some kind of the same ideas for transformation, especially in terms of the shoulders and the treads and all that stuff. So it was kind of cool to have both to mess around with at the same time. Is there anything else I have to compare? Where's my streak? My streak's always around. Oh, well, oh, there he is. There he is. Here he is with Streak, an MP Carbot. So he is quite large in terms of alt mode. But really, the only playability here is just his blasters that we saw earlier. Nothing else really does anything. There's no actual wheels or anything like that. Like the Mastermind Creations actually has small wheels here, even though the treads aren't working. So you're really just sliding him along. All right, so let's get back into. Well, actually, yeah, let's go back into robot mode real quick. I was going to show you how all the combined pieces come off, but it's easier to show, I guess, or more intuitive if you actually see it from robot mode. So let's go ahead and bring the arms down, up, around. Same thing here. We'll get this rotated around. And these will come up and tab in, but let's hold off on that for now. These pieces, remember to slightly untab them so that the chest panel will come out. Get over these silver nubs. Get that straightened out. These will rotate around. And you can see this is where the combined chest is. It looks very tarnished, and we'll look at that in a bit. Get the head out, and these panels will go back in on those double hinges. Get this up and in. Oh, that wasn't all the way in. Oh, sorry, that's actually supposed to happen for combine mode, that's supposed to remove out, but it wasn't supposed to happen there. So again, get those blue spikes tabbed around. Wait, is that right? Yeah, just like that. Yeah, I just did that. And then bring the shoulders back up. I wish this one, at least this one, seemed a little bit loose to me. It tends to want to come off a lot easier than the right one, especially when I'm trying to articulate his shoulders in robot mode, but not a huge deal. Get these up and positioned however you want for robot mode. The legs, again, very simple transformation. Rotate at the thigh. Open this up and bring that double hinge all the way down and in. There are a set of tabs here that kind of coincide. I'm trying to remember if they tab in anywhere. Yeah, they don't look like they tab in, but anyway, I can't remember, but something feels definitively like it tabs in once you get in here. This comes up and that tab goes in there. Same thing on the other side. Rotate that around. Oh man, these thighs are super tight. Bring the legs all the way down, if you can manage it. Bring the heel up and the toe out. And there we have Helix, or Alkaid, back in robot mode. And just to show you just how, at least a preview of how this all works for his combine mode, he basically just blows up. Every joint almost that you can think of actually comes unplugged. So hold this in, his arms will come out, his arms will separate. His legs will come out. His waist will come out. And you're like, okay, that's probably it. Nope. There's the backpack that we talked about. These front parts come undone. They make up part of the feet. I think like the toe section, outer toe section. These come out. They haven't really shown what these are for. But if you look at the images, you can probably figure out where they come out. This section, you're going to want to unplug the chest. And we saw before. Open up those. You get the chest piece. Down here even, you would think that this might be just one piece. No, it's not. You got to keep going. You got to open these up. Get these out the way just temporarily, because what happens is this section comes straight out. So now you have this whole mess of parts to get them into the various modes. I think this is part of the backpack, and it ends up coming like this. I think this is the backpack. We don't know what these sections are. These are for the chest. What does this do again? All right, there's this one, I remember, bends at the knee, and this one flips around at the toe, and that's it. This actually becomes part of the ankle/foot. It ends up going into the front of the foot. So if this was the foot, it kind of connects in that way. So it ends up being the shin and the calf, along with, along with the shoulder pieces. Remember that little panel that opened up so you can get a little bit more articulation? You want to open that up, bring this down. This connects into here, and this peg goes into here. So yeah, this becomes like the knee, shin, and ankle, I guess. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring out the other combined pieces because they're in boxes right now. But I'm going to show all this off, obviously, later when we actually have Tesserus, their last figure, so that we can actually get them all combined. Because at this point, it doesn't really do much. There we go. Once again, we're going to plug this in here. Oops, sorry. Get this folded down. These combiner joints are really beefy, like beefy squares. I thought they might be not enough, but they definitely are. So, oh, these actually end up becoming part of the legs too, like the inside of the foot, like the instep. All they do is like rotate around and fold up. Oops. They fold up like that, and then I think this panel comes in, folds in like this, or I don't remember exactly how this part works, but it ends up being part of the instep, like here or something like that. I just remember these are flipped around like this and like that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it works, but you get the general idea. It goes into another part of the foot. Lastly, these actually become the fist, as we showed off kind of earlier. You want to open this up, pull out the fist, tuck in the other fist, and before you close that up, you want to rotate that down so this tab gets secured in. And these fists are quite nice too. Same kind of deal. Ball joints at the base of the hand, and then 2 joints at the thumb, and 1 extra joint at each finger. So same kind of articulation, just more fingers, and they're black. This fist does get a little bit hard to pull out, but it shouldn't stop anyone. There we go. Yeah, so these are the majority of parts. Like I said, I'll go ahead and show this off once we get all 5 of the members in our hands. But yeah, that's it for the review. What do you guys think of this set so far? How do you like Helix? Right now, he might be my favorite in terms of just overall playability. He's just really cool. He's bulky. I always like the design. He's probably my favorite. Tester is probably my least favorite of the group. But he will be substantially bigger than this guy, from what I'm seeing. So that'll be cool to get him last, and then we can combine these guys up. And again, it's really cool that they're doing these kind of one-off figures. So I don't really know how you would be able to remold or recolor this like they've done with a lot of their other figures. I'm sure they'll probably find a way. I don't know if they have any idea what they could remold this, recolor this to. I mean, they'll probably come out with like a all black version or all purple version or something like that. That seems to be the style with Decepticons. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this review, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to keep up to date with the rest of this set, go ahead and click that notification bell. And you can actually set whether you want to get notified for all my videos, just some of them, or like that. I don't put out a lot of videos nowadays, so even all of them probably won't bombard your notification bar. Alright, that's it for today, everyone. Hope you have a good one.